I'm Amy Shapiro, journalist at CTech. We're here today at the Defence Tech Expo 2026 in Tel Aviv. I'm joined by Menny Shalom, the CEO of T3 Defence. Menny, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
It's an absolute pleasure. To start off with, can you talk us through the kind of mission statement of T3 Defence?
So I've started the journey almost 3 years ago, just when the war in Ukraine was in about 4 or 5 months, and what I came to realize, we are entering a defense era. And a defense era, as opposed to other parts, is very interesting. It's delayed, meaning the minute the war starts, or a president says he wants a golden dome, it takes few years, it actually shows in the P&L of companies. So that's number one. Number two, defense cycles are very long. So once you start buying defense, it's going to take 5, 7, 10 years. And number three, there is no sensitivity to price. If we need a tank or a submarine or an anti-drone, we buy it whatever the price is. Think of all the congressional hearing of overspending according to budget. So there is no sensitivity to price, long cycle, and delayed. So I thought it's a very good story for a public company. That's where I started. And what T3 Defense started as identifying the right parameters of what would be a good acquisition target. I have identified 22 criteria. And based on that, I have identified 440 potential target companies worldwide, 60% in the US, about 30 in Israel and the rest of the world. Ownership, revenue, profitability, sector. And those could be very boring parts. And let me give you an example. 40% of the companies we look at are metal processing, very old school industrial processes. But if you build a submarine or a tank or a drone, everybody starts with taking a metal and shaping it. And those metal processing companies today have a backlog of 15 years. 15 years to process the orders they have. So it's a very exciting industry. Now, as opposed to other industries, defense is very robust in the sense that many different parts. We invest in industrial companies, we invest in application companies, we invest in software businesses. So you have to understand in different things, as opposed to biotech, where you talk molecules. Here you need to understand a lot of different moving parts. All of them are part of a big picture. And that's what T3 Defense is looking to do, is to imagine the modern battlefield, to understand what will be the moving parts there, and try to identify what would be the relevant building blocks of that. And what we do is we go and buy those building blocks because we think that the battlefield will make all those building blocks go, and we provide them financing, we provide them management and marketing, and we try to explode them in a good way, meaning to give them what they need in order to grow globally.
Right, and so T3 is like a massive holding company responsible for the companies that we see here behind us. If you were to summarize, what is your kind of acquisition ethos? What is it that really makes a defense company stand out to you?
So the strategy is, or the think process starts with us identifying the battlefield. We break down, so let's take the US submarine. The Ministry of War in the US announced they're going to need new submarine for the US. So we would have a think group that would start an understanding, how do you build a submarine? What are the different components? Usually there are something like 2,000 subcontractors. About 15 or 20 of them are irreplaceable, meaning it's going to be very expensive to replace them. And what we do is we try to identify those irreplaceable ones and try and buy them. So the strategy is to buy something that is going to be a very long-term contract and find the unique partners, the unique subcontractors that are going to be that. And we try to come up with a cohesive, coherent story of what would be part of that, and we always look for those synergies inside of the group and outside with potential new customers.
And finally, Menny, what, for you and your companies, what are the unique challenges and opportunities of building a defense startup, a defense company in Israel?
So many public companies or investors in general are very financially oriented, meaning they start with the Excel file, how much they make, what's going to be the multiples, and so on and so forth. We try to take a more strategic view. understanding more than that. It's not just how the numbers are going to shift, it's also a lot about the people, a lot about the interconnectivity with other holding companies, with the market, with our competitors. Again, a lot of people today are investing in defense. We try to really look at the actual underlying product that is going to be part of a bigger picture, not just the Excel file. Again, I think a lot of good companies are there doing it. We put a lot of weight into the people aspect and what the people are, what they're doing, how long they've been in business. So we are very excited about it. It's a very interesting journey.
Absolutely. Well, good luck with the rest of your journey. It's been a real pleasure to talk to you today, Menny.
Thank you so much.